Hey, but we're here, Scully, and we got a guest already.
We got a guest off the hop here, and our guest, you've seen him before on Golf Talk Canada, Matthew Anderson, rejoins us here on GTC.
Yes,
My man,
sir.
How are you?
I am doing well. I'm excited to be back here.
It is great to have you back. Now, before we get to our interview here, it is Tuesday at the RBC Canadian Open. We've had news break Tuesdays of the RBC Canadian Open.
What now?
I'm putting on the anti-jinx.
Oh,
Nothing is going to
Okay.
happen. So a couple years, Matt, just so you know, the Live merger news broke while we were live on the air. A viral moment of me sort of moving back in my seat while this happened went live on the air. So we're hoping that doesn't happen. We're going to get into your story here, Matt. But first, let's start with some news and some headlines.
News and headlines are brought to you by Sandbagger Hard Seltzer. Sandbagger. Everybody knows one.
There you go. How's that? Anyway, Matt, let's get into your story, man. You're here at RBC Canadian Open. What's your excitement for the week right now?
Hi.
Yeah.
I haven't been on site, I think, since like last September because I've been gone and they've been obviously doing all the setup. So excited to be back here for sure. Yeah, playing the National Open. Awesome.
Right on, man.
Now, Matt, have you seen the golf course this week?
No, I just got here probably 2 hours ago.
Okay, so when you were here last September, was that Tour Championship? When you were here?
Yes, and I think I played. I did play a few times after in October as well.
Okay,
just
so
like when they
just
had
to get
before I left.
All right.
Yeah.
So the narrative, and these two guys, not the sharpest knives in the drawer. We decided for intel, so we could have a more educated conversation with you.
It was for research.
Yeah, for research. Him and I decided, okay, we're gonna go play it the way you guys are gonna go play it. And we went and stretched it out yesterday. And it's a lot of golf course. It felt like a golf course where strokes gained off the tee kind of leaped out of the page. I mean, you've got to drive it long. You've got to drive it. Although there's room off the tee, if you miss the fairway, you're in trouble. Is it a driver's guide? Is it the player who wins this week going to be in that top 10 in that category, would you imagine?
You would have to think so. I think the Canadian Open in the past and I would say it almost plays similar to a U.S. Open, not in terms of difficulty, but in terms of like what you need to have,
style,
what you need to have in order to have success. Obviously, driving is going to be huge. I mean, I haven't taken a good look at the course yet. I know last year at this time it was kind of wet. It looks like it's kind of firm out there. I know it'll
some spots.
a little bit.
The
like
fairways
are running out a little bit.
The greens are very receptive.
Okay.
Greens can, and we might get moisture Wednesday.
Right. Okay. Right. So I mean, I know. Yeah. So that'll soften up the greens a little bit. Obviously, maybe make scoring a little easier. But the fairways did look like they were running out, just as I was driving over here.
I desperately needed that.
Yeah. But with the length of the rough, obviously they like to make driving a premium here. Long, straight, obviously gonna help for sure.
Well, so we had a couple of times to, have you on the show last year. We played golf together last year at the Maple Leafs event, which was great. And you told me that you sort of cruise around, 183, 184 ball speed sort of thing. Is that where we're at right now? And I'm sure that's going to be an advantage out this week.
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably around maybe a little higher than that right now.
Good.
85.
Okay.
85. Just moving a little better in tournament season. But yeah, I mean, I definitely length is certainly an advantage.
Was there an equipment switch? Because the three of us are all team TaylorMade guys. Did you go 35? And if so, what model are you playing?
I actually still have the 10.
It's okay. So do I.
So
do I.
So do I. TaylorMade. I still have the 10.
Yep.
However, I do have the R7 Mini in the bag.
Oh, how is that?
And it's great. I love it. So that is going to be huge for me this week because again, I don't really need a 3-wood. Because it's like, well, if I'm going to hit something like that off the tee, I want to hit the Mini. I'm not really going to have the through into the par 5s, or unlikely. Or if I do, I can just hit the Mini. And I have a 7-wood as well, QI35 7-wood, which is obviously, if I need it, couple long par 3s out here, maybe if one's playing into the wind, obviously out of the rough. It's huge. So I've got all the trends in the bag. I still have the QI10, but I got the mini driver and the 7-wood. Just got it all covered.
Nice.
Well, and so far you on the Korn Ferry Tour, you are averaging just under 311 yards off the tee. So you're bombing it this year. You have a T3, you have a T7 on Korn Ferry Tour this season. Just how has the season gone for you overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. Just getting used to it out there. Yeah. Obviously those couple good finishes in Latin America were great. Just to secure the rest of the season, know I'll have a place to play, and also know that I have a chance to move up, with some more good finishes, possibly a win. Obviously been outside of that, haven't really done too much, but that's just kind of golf sometimes. I feel like my game's just building, getting better, and I feel like it's better, now than it was, honestly, when I even had those finishes. So, it's just a matter of time. You never know when it's going to come. It's never a bad time, and who knows? Maybe it'll be this week. Maybe whatever. But
from a mindset position, because that tour's, I always find it's an interesting one, and I'm talking in generalities here over like the last few decades. That's a tour where when you peg it up every day on a Thursday, or you go to wherever the stop is, you got to start making birdies immediately, right? It's a go low tour. You guys are so good, and you're out there in 64, 63 is usually the regular. Now we come here this week. We don't know what we're going to get yet. But if that wind blows out of the north, we talked about some of the par fives. There's going to be times and areas of this golf course where par is just a really good score. So what do you prefer? Like yourself as a player, do you prefer like full green light out of the gates or tougher tests, or do you have to be prepared for both?
I think you have to be able to play both well if you want to be successful in this game, right? But I mean, I love a test. Like I love a challenge, long, rough. Like just make it really hard. I find that, my game's good for that, and I find like my mental game is also good for that too. Like I feel like I manage it pretty well. But yeah, for sure on Korn Ferry, honestly, most of the time it's 20s, low 20s under winning. We've had some events where there was one in Tulum where it was single digits. I think one in Latin America was single digits. You get the odd course that's challenging. Certainly. It does pop up, yeah. But for sure, you'll see, a lot of guys going low down there for sure. You just got to be prepared to go out and just go out and send it. You can't really be scared, right?
Yeah, you're mentioning, Matt, a lot of places you've traveled to, and people watching, people listening have been on golf trips, but don't do this professionally. Just what's it like for you traveling week in, week out as a pro in maybe some places you haven't been at before, restaurants you haven't eaten at before, food you haven't tried before, and doing this as a professional golfer, trying to make it and earn a living?
I'm learning every week. Still learning every week. I mean, listen, going down, obviously Latin America, long flights, going red eyes, practicing, it's a lot on your body. You really got to be mindful of rest, what you're putting in your body, like fuel, how you're going to recover. Yeah, I mean, I've stayed in a fair amount of Airbnbs this year, and obviously in America, it's just a little bit easier because you have some familiar stuff, But yeah, I mean, I mix it up just with cooking, going out to eat, just trying to do good stuff, whatever.
So this week, obviously, national championship, it's a big week, right?
Yeah.
You like the harder test. You're here to win it. That's why you guys come to play. Do you set up mini goals? You and your caddy, you say, okay, this is mini goal Thursday. Do you do that? Do you take it a more bigger picture? How do you approach something a week like this?
It's more bigger picture. I mean, I've been honestly, I think this is my 4th week on the road. So, I'm in tournament shape.
It's Groundhog Day.
I'm in, yeah. I've played a lot of tournament golf recently, and I've done the prep weekend, and because I participated in the longest day of golf yesterday, yes. Played a qualifier over at Lambton. So, I'm definitely in tournament shape, and it's just going to be a little bit of a shorter prep. And I'm just
Is it
trying to
rest right now? Rest over reps right now?
I mean, I'm still going to go out and do kind of the same stuff, but I'm not going to overexert.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to be out there all day and trying to do stuff. I know that I'm in a good spot, and go do that recovery and that. And in terms of goal setting, I mean, listen, I don't really do that in terms of a day by day thing. I just take it week by week.
Stay in the process.
Just trying to get better, do my process as best I can, and whatever comes out of that. That's how we'll roll.
So as part of that process, so is that 9 holes today, 9 holes tomorrow sort of thing, or what are you thinking in terms of
so in terms of a prep plan, I got so after this I'm going to go out and play the back 9. And then I'll have lunch, do a little bit of practice after, and then I got something with TaylorMade over there later on.
Right, that's right.
Which will be great.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, got in the Pro-Am, so that'll be great. So I'll see the front 9, do some practice, gym, little bit of recovery. Probably go get in the therapy. Maybe even a cold bath. I heard they got one of those over there, so I'm kind of excited about that.
We missed that memo yesterday, Mark, on the cold bath. We're a couple wounded soldiers walking around here.
I don't think today's day 2.
Yes.
I start PGA Tour radio duties on Thursday, so I'm going to be doing like 17,000 steps a day with the radio gear starting Thursday. I don't think I'm going to make it to Sunday. I think I may have to tag you in.
Well, so Matt, just to give you a little background on yesterday. So Mark and I played the Celebrity Pro-Am, one off the back tees. We're going to talk at length about that throughout this show. Mark's wife caddied for him. My fiance, we're getting married in 25 days. She caddied for me. So,
congratulations.
Thank you. So they were the MVPs of the day because, I mean, it was 18,000 steps, Mark, at least?
Yeah, I was over 20 on my watch because hosting the Pro-Am festivities on the range in the morning, going back and forth along the range. And so we were well over 20,000. So, yes, the wives win. Yesterday, you and I were certainly not any MVPs of any kind. One birdie each on the same hole.
On the same hole.
Yeah.
On
15?
15, after the rink hole. After
15,
the rink hole.
15,
so,
yeah.
But Matt, I'm so happy for you, man. You've come a long way. I've got to spend a lot of time with you both on this show. Interviews, got to play some golf last year as well. So all the best this week. Play well.
Appreciate
Good luck
it.
with the prep, and hopefully we're talking to you again down the road.
Play well. We'll see you out there.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys.
Enjoy
Appreciate
it as always.
Yeah, it was awesome.